Hello once again. We are on the Blak Cast. I am your host, the lovable bad guy, the one and only Blackjack. Joined once again. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nally Hero.
What's up, guys? It's an honor to be back with Blackjack on the Blak Cast this Tuesday evening.
Yep, and if you haven't followed me on Twitter, which you totally should, this will be probably, I don't know if this will be the last Tuesday we do it, but starting next week, we're going to be moving to Thursdays.
Yeah.
You know, I'm starting to feel like we're kind of like Friday Night Smack. We're kind of feel like WWE SmackDown, where we're just jumping from day to day.
Oh, yeah. That makes total, yeah.
Remember, SmackDown used to be on Fridays, and then it went to Tuesdays.
Well, I think it was
Thursdays, and then it went back to Tuesdays.
Yeah, I remember that.
Shout out to the WWE.
Shout out. And you would have the battle of the mega power in wrestling, WCW versus WWF at the time. Monday Nitro versus Raw.
Oh God!
And then
that was actually
SmackDown,
one of the best. That actually was one of the best segments out there. Going.
Yeah, because yeah, it was a pretty decent time to be from the '90s, you know.
Oh yeah, gotta love the '90s.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Actually, no, I think that was the early 2000s though.
Well, I do remember that what they did call the Monday Night War maybe started, and correct me, maybe I think '94. But I just remember when I was younger, they would have, you know, like during one commercial, my dad would always change the channel to either Raw, and if the other one was on commercial, he would change to Nitro. So they would, you know, like, yeah.
I used to do the same thing, but I honestly think it was later than that. I think it was like closer to 2000.
Yeah. SmackDown kind of, you know, I don't know if they had a purpose in the whole advantage from the WWE being supreme, quote unquote, or was it just the fact that people decided to watch Raw? But, you know, you didn't really see much telecast wrestling businesses back then do, you know, what they did when they did SmackDown on, I think it was Friday, or it may have been Thursday back then. But you know, it's crazy, bro, because even now it's like it seems that SmackDown and Raw is kind of competing against each other, you know, for the plot, you know, plot wise. And I think it's also a competitive thing for the business itself to see, you know, what type of people in the storyline could get more credit, or but you know, it's totally a really big thing, you know, because, you know, I used to watch TNA, and I think I've maybe caught ECW sometimes, but it's like even with, you know, the network and NXT and all these different types of you know, offshoots of you know, what it seems like, you know, the smaller wrestling divisions, you know, that they may have, Ring of Honor and stuff of that nature. It's WWE has it on lock, it seems.
Yeah, but it seems like the smaller ones are gaining and more popularity. And I don't mean smaller as in they're not well known, but they're smaller as in it's like comparing it to the WWE.
Yeah.
So like you have it like Impact Wrestling which was TNA. They're starting to gain popularity again. You know, make a male character.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, they've always had a ginormous loyal fan base.
Yeah. And you think about, go ahead.
Yeah, Lucha Underground. They're on their fourth season.
How was that show? I've never seen it. How was that show?
Oh, Lucha Underground. They exploded.
Wow.
They exploded in popularity, which is kind of a good. It's kind of a good thing, bad thing scenario. Like, it's great that they gained so many fans so quickly. make my guy look young. But at the same time, it's like you really don't want to blow up like too quickly. Otherwise, it's just gonna be. Otherwise, you're gonna burn yourself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. It's good to have the steady exposure, and have it kind of, it may go up at times and, kind of taper down, but it's good to have that the constant appeal throughout, a character on a storyline. You look at people like Triple H, you look at people like John Cena and The Rock, have had kind of but honestly, I don't think any of them have had the appeal. Correct me if I'm wrong, because there probably is a few people that John Cena. But if you would ask me, I would say Hulk Hogan has had a way bigger appeal than John Cena. That was like immortal status that Hulk Hogan obtained back in the 80s and 90s, and he even went to NWO. That was crazy.
Yeah,
NWO versus D-Generation X type thing.
Yeah, and he also went to Impact Wrestling for a bit.
Right.
So you're not wrong in a sense that Hulk Hogan has had that. I wouldn't want to say notoriety, but he's had. He's had that fan base. He's one of the few that can get a fan base and keep it. He's like one of the rare people.
He was like, I think even the Undertaker has more appeal than John Cena. And to be honest, if you think about it, John Cena kind of entered the world of wrestling at a very trivial time, where you had these mixed martial arts things going on, but you even see with Randy Orton, I think it's the appeal to make something original. Randy Orton with the iconic pose from the apron, whatever you call it, that's, and just the way he plays the character. But honestly, and I think you've heard this maybe a few years ago, or he's kind of working on himself, because it's like the bad boy image that you see in the ring is really something that he carried around on his shoulders. He had that issue of being the bad boy image. I don't know if you've heard about that, but
yeah, I
think he had issues.
He's always been the guy that just was like he could play a heel a lot better than a lot of people would think. He's a natural heel.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some people that are like natural baby faces.
Yeah.
Like John Cena, he's a natural baby. He's a natural baby face. I mean, as much as people want to see him as a heel, I just honestly could not see him. I just couldn't see him pulling off a heel.
Can you see Kofi Kingston being a heel? I can't. It may have happened once or twice, but I can't really see Kofi Kingston being a heel. I can see Big E being a heel, but I can't even see out of the New Day,
They tried making Kofi. They actually tried making all of the New Day being a heel. But I think they were just kind of they're too entertaining to be a heel.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's always a great thing to see in wrestling, where they're so quote unquote notorious, or they have this different type of notoriety, that it becomes infectiously like a good thing, with certain characters. I think iconic right now, in my personal opinion, females that play the heel great, absolutely. What's her name? You probably know who I'm talking about.
Alexa Bliss.
of course, Alexa Bliss, and on the male side you have Bray Wyatt, that have done so well of just gaining so much favor because you remember Husky Harris from NXT, the
Yep.
same kind of thing where Daniel Bryan was at, and that was just the character, the storylines and the development of those characters is just so, of Husky Harris to Bray Wyatt are just like night and day,
Yeah, like you could tell, like Bray, like that was a great move for the WWE to make Husky Harris into Bray Wyatt.
That's like storyline magic at its finest,
Mm-hmm. And then you got some people that it's kind of hard to see them as that one side where Drew McIntyre is one of those guys that it's like really difficult to see him as a face, and then you got Bobby Roode. It's really hard to see him as a face.
Yeah,
I mean, I know they're kind of playing him up as a face character, as a baby face for Bobby Roode, but honestly, he's so much more heel.
Yeah. And it's also interesting, I definitely hear you with that one. And even it's, I don't know if you would say heel or not, but I guess he is a heel at the moment, Big Cass. But even like you said, I think you're basically saying, and correct me, you were saying it's hard to see them as a face.
Mm-hmm.
People like Big Cass, people like Mojo Riley, it's hard to see him as the face. It's like I don't know what it is, but it's like the way storylines. I honestly, Blackjack, I think it has to do with the appeal of the fans because for those of them who are watching us and will watch this this specific show, I think that you have the fans that really get into it and go to the live shows whenever they possibly can. And bro, there's this one guy, he seems to be like at every show, at the center in the back. He has long hair. I don't know if you've seen this guy, but he has blonde long hair. He's kind of skinny and he's tall, and I don't know if I'm the only one that sees it. I don't think I am, but it's the same guy, at every live show. It's the same guy, dude. But anyways, and you said you went in some of our personal conversations, Blackjack. You said you went to some live events of wrestling, right?
Like independent, like independent shows. But yeah, I've been to a few of them.
Yeah, and I've been to a decent handful amount of them, and you really get to see how it's specifically catered to the live experience. When you watch it, it seems that there's that third, it's like the third wheel type thing where you have the commentators, but when you go there and see it in public, it's like it's do or die, flip or flop, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the way they sell it, and I don't think you've had much people sell it like Triple H, The Rock, Badass Billy Gunn,
No.
just all that. No,
there's not going to be
they
anybody that sells it. That sells it like that. And actually, you mentioned Big Cass. He actually got released from the WWE.
What'd he do?
Apparently, from what I've heard, it was his attitude backstage, where it was like a whole bunch of things where there was like they couldn't just take. They were like, you know what, we're done.
Yeah, and I think that goes along with what we were talking about maybe two shows ago with integrity. It takes you a long way because even you, bro, you're the lovable bad guy. Not even bad guy in my eyes, but the lovable. the lovable blackjack of all trades. So people like when people have that appeal to them, you know. But like you were saying, and it's great that you brought that up a few shows ago about the integrity, and that goes a long way, even to a big business like wrestling, where it seems that sometimes they could do with you or without you. But to know that they have that respect and have that intermingled chemistry, they need that. Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess a few months ago they released Enzo Amore.
Well, here's the thing with Enzo. Enzo had an accusation against them, which turned out to be complete and utter BS. But I think from how much heat that Enzo got from some of the other superstars, I don't think they're gonna. I'll be surprised if they re-sign him.
Yeah.
I will be totally surprised if they re-sign Enzo.
Yeah. So while we're still on the wrestling conversation, who is in recent, or maybe in the past 10 years, maybe 5 years, who has been the best addition to the WWE roster? I guess it could be from Ring of Honor, it could be from Impact, it could be from even NXT. But who do you think has been the best addition? Personally, for me, I think it's probably AJ or Finn Balor.
Now we're talking to the main WWE roster.
Yeah, the main roster.
Okay, so that's so the bet. You said AJ or Finn Balor added to the main roster.
Well, that was possibly my favorites that I really liked. But just from either maybe Impact or Ring of Honor, even NXT, which is your favorite addition to the main roster in the past 5 or 10 years?
Man, that's a hard one, and I'm actually gonna throw a curveball at. him. I think they took way too long to get AJ onto the main roster, but really, AJ wanted to wait. AJ himself wanted to wait to come to the WWE, so he wasn't. So him kind of delaying everything. I think if he said, "Hey, I want to join the WWE," they would have signed him without a second thought. But
Right.
I'm gonna say
also,
I'm actually gonna go to the cruiser. I'm actually going to go 205. I'm gonna go to the cruiserweights and say Cedric Alexander was I think was my favorite signing, because if you've watched the Cruiserweight Classic, he got a lot of support to get put on the main roster. Like, he got so much love, so much support.
oh yeah, big
like,
time.
And everybody was like, sign Cedric. Like, everybody was like, bring on Cedric Alexander, sign Cedric Alexander. And then you see Triple H come out, and he's like, okay. And I was like, dude, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and tell me that's not cool. That he just decides that you're like, you're good. You're on the roster.
I would probably also have to say Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, and the other guy that's Kevin's friend.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah. But if I would say the top two out of that, I'd have to probably say Shinsuke and Kevin Owens,
I mean, it's hard for me to say Sami Zayn was a great addition, because he's just been plagued with injury after injury.
Yeah.
Like NXT, after he won the NXT title, he got powerbombed under the apron, was sent to the hospital.
Something's up. The scout flies are
Hospital.
gathering.
Just recently, he got injured by Bobby Lashley. Actually, he's on the shelf. And I don't know how long he's gonna be back. I don't know how long he's gonna be.
What a weird plan.
Yeah, he to be honest, when you see Sammy, he doesn't. He,
On the way back to base.
I guess you would have to know Sammy's history, you know, throughout the ring, different countries or whatever. But to be honest, he doesn't seem to have the intense wrestling physique. You know, he has the wrestling library because he's I guess, as they said, he's traveled across the world, being
We can push our way
as
through
the
these
luchador character as well.
El Generico.
Right. But it kind of seems like for these days, he kind of has the body physique as such of as a James Ellsworth, you know, not to throw shade at him, but you know what I mean, man? It's like, of course he's going to get injured, you know?
I totally know where you're going. I totally know, but I would not diss him that much and compare his physique to James Ellsworth. No, James Ellsworth has like my physique. Like, he is not. Like, why did they re-sign James Ellsworth? Honestly, I think that was like I mean, yeah, I mean he was popular for a while,
Hurry!
but seriously, James Ellsworth, really? Y'all could have signed. Y'all could have signed Jay Lethal. Y'all could have signed Jay Lethal. Y'all could have signed Kenny Omega, who actually says he wants to work with the WWE.
While we still can.
Has just incredible as he had his time in the WWE.
I think his time is come and gone. You could have reached out to John Morrison and asked for him back, but no, you go the route of James Ellsworth.
Nothing can stop us.
John
What
Morrison was
the-
just like,
What the
He was
absolute
awesome.
hell? And that actually segues to the biggest signing mistakes, and honestly, James Ellsworth.
yeah,
Hands down, the biggest signing mistake.
yeah.
There's more over there.
Oh,
Let's check
did
it
you get into Santino Marella at all while he was there?
I kind of did. Like, I kind of sort of did. Especially
Yeah.
he was entertaining. Like, he was entertaining.
Yes. Yes.
Whether or not he
He
could
was very
wrestle is
entertaining.
another. Whether or not he could wrestle is another story. But you know, he was definitely someone who was like very. He was very entertaining.
Yeah.
There was not a single moment where Santino Marella was not in the ring where he failed to just make me, or he just failed to make me laugh. But I honestly,
I was laughing like,
but I was
yeah.
like, I was actually happy when he almost became World Heavyweight Champion back in 2012, I believe.
Yeah.
Because it was a shit. It's my arch nemesis, the Ajanath. I seriously hate this thing on this game, but no. How it went was Randy Orton was supposed to be in the Elimination Chamber match, but he got I think he got a concussion. I think he got a concussion and was medically unclear and was not medically cleared. So they had a battle royal on the SmackDown prior that Santino won.
Let's go.
Okay.
That Santino Marella won, and he was gonna take Randy Orton's spot.
Right.
So I was incredibly happy about that. Like, I was incredibly happy that he was finally gonna get a shot, even though it was his only shot. He was getting a shot at the world heavyweight title.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's great to see to see some of those wrestlers that, you know, obviously come and go, but have, you know, that while they're there, they entertain you. You know, that's
Hmm.
also a good thing, you know.
And then at
So
Extreme
your
Rule,
favorite person, go
and
ahead.
then at Extreme Rules, finally Rusev got a shot at the WWE title.
It's like nature meant for us to build a stair right here.
Stara. I like it.
So what are some of your favorite Extreme Rules results? Honestly,
The rest of the fifth are already
I didn't have the chance to catch it, but I might have to, you know, check it out. But
Um,
things you like, things you maybe didn't like.
I wasn't too crazy about.
Okay, set him down here.
I will say this: I wasn't. What surprised me was Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are the Raw Tag Team Champions. No, and if you haven't watched it, no, I'm not exaggerating. Oh, by the way, spoilers.
We were talking about
This is going to be spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it,
all's well that ends well.
turn it off. Right, turn it off now, or fast forward to whenever the hell we stop this.
Exactly.
Okay, so B Team winning the tag team titles. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Hell has officially frozen over.
People. The stuff.
Incredible, right?
And the tag team champions before them were
Do all the exploring,
Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy.
do the research.
okay, yeah.
Technicians.
That combination is just priceless. The way they've just Matt, is it Matt or Jeff?
Matt.
Commander, I found him.
Okay. The way they've made Matt's character so quirky is just, it kills me.
God, it's kind of
I mean,
hit
I
and
love
miss
it.
with
Like,
me.
I love it. Yeah.
Welcome to Astera.
And then, not necessarily that Shinsuke Nakamura won the United States title, but how he won it. Kind of irked me the wrong way. Kind of irked me as well.
Right. I probably do have to check that out because I did get, and I don't know if you've seen this, but I did get the 3 months for 99 cents. That was just amazing. They did that 3 months for 99 cents. Is just amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
But
then
yeah,
my
I'm a
favorite.
Shinsuke fan.
Well, he's finally got a he's finally got a championship.
Yeah.
And then my favorite match had to be AJ versus Rusev. Like that was literally one of my favorite matches
Your
of the
reputation
night.
will precede you.
Yeah.
Well, off you go.
I didn't check out all of it, but I really appreciated what I did see of the Greatest Royal Rumble. You know,
Oh man,
I
that was a
appreciated some of
treat.
it.
Later to see what they have.
Yeah.
The greatest Royal Rumble match, that was a treat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And just the way they put that together was just,
It's this way.
it's great. You know, I didn't see all of it, but I just love how they kind of put that together. You know, that little treat, like you said.
Mm-hmm. You got 50 superstars. Again, I did not stutter.
You were the
50
Yeah, you're telling the
superstars.
The old man in charge, my grandfather, was with the
And I'm glad to see that Braun Strowman's finally starting to get that getting the push.
born and bred.
And
Never even been to the old world.
you know, him winning Money in the Bank, him winning the greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Here's our smithy. This is where you can craft weapons and armor. You'll be here a lot.
Wow. Look at this place. Want to check it out?
So what do you think about the World Cup? Even though I didn't see it, but I did hear that France won. What do you
Yeah.
did you get into soccer? Or did you follow?
I did not catch the World Cup. But I did found out about the results. France has their first World Cup in 20 years.
That is good to hear, and it's great to see that something that is, in my opinion, greater than the Super Bowl. You know, speaking, internationally and intercontinentally type thing.
Right.
Something for the world. Um, it's great to see all those countries compete for because I think what they call football is considered the world's most popular sport. I guess you just have basketball and throwing football, as I should call it, to be as popular, in America. But it's great to see that. It's great to see that happen. That happened with France.
Come on.
Yeah.
The one in Brazil I did catch probably. I think that was last year, but I did catch that one. And that
last time I believe was in Brazil.
Yeah.
But honestly, I actually wanted England to win the World Series or to win the World Cup. Is it? England and Britain are two different things. Are two different countries.
England and Britain, they.
You ask
Possibly.
anybody from England, they'll probably say, yeah, we're two different countries. We're two different people.
They're a fine group
Yeah.
of worthy comrades who will help see the research commission's long efforts.
It may be a part of Great Britain. There may be, Great Britain, possibly type thing.
We're ready to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty.
This here is the commission's core team. We should all get to know each other.
And in other news, Donald Trump once again makes a dumbass of himself. And this one, and honestly, I thought this was, like, seriously, I thought it was stupid before, but this, like, is a whole level of stupidity. Like, he's actually trying, like, he's trying to make, he's trying to get in conversations with Russia about peace, and I use that term loosely.
Yeah.
Everybody in the government's like, Trump, what the fuck are you doing, you dumbass?
Yeah.
Not in those exact words, but you get the point.
Yeah, alright.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it 100 million times more. The guy has literally, zero concept of reality. I mean, he thinks he made peace with North Korea. I highly doubt that. Like, would I want Russia? Would I want Russia to be be peaceful? Let's do business with them. Absolutely. But as long as Putin's in office in Russia, that's not going to happen.
It seems that everything that happens, the United States has to have some sort of role in it. It seems to always be something involved where the United States gets a part of it. Across the country, and you hear a lot of people say that this is the best country to be in, and I think if you're more so capitalistic and more so you like praising your government, but that honestly that last statement could be for many governments, because many governments do consider royalty and pleasure to the government and to the higher officials mandatory. So the things where we had with the national anthem, I guess you can say that that's not to be tolerated anywhere else. And you probably could see that maybe in some of those Asian and across the Asian continent itself. But I think this is it's one of those things, man. I think if someone wants to obtain as much material possessions as they want and act like everything's okay, this is the perfect country for you, you know. But honestly, there's people that are denying that, and you know, you're having people saying, "Hey, I don't agree." And you know, every time you don't agree with the whole America is the greatest country, you're asked to leave. Now with that, you know, people, I guess, in the way they say, then why don't you leave? I think the warrior, you know, I think many people these days, especially adolescents, and people that actually get involved with um, politics worldwide and what the United States actually does. Because it's not a video game, guys. There is something called Black Ops, Black Operations, clandestine activity, foreign policy. There is actually that stuff. You know, Black Operations. You guys got to look it up. It's real. Um, but I think that if people would like to kind of sign something over, you know, and have just a lifestyle that's just really focused on certain things and not be able to really speak out or know about what happens behind the scenes, then I think this is the perfect country for people. But like I was saying, man, it's like there's a lot of things that need to be altered and changed in what I do call the belly of the beast. You know what I'm saying, man? There's some things that because if you know you've had a lot of stuff that's happened here since whenever this country came together, and it's you if you think about it, you can see why things are like the way they are. You know, you're falling right. You know, I think some people are actually fulfilling the concept that the media portrays. You know, it gets them upset. You know, they want you to feel that way because that's what fuels. That's ultimately, if you think about it, man, that's why someone's gonna get a gun. You know, and they want you to do that.
I mean,
you know,
here's the thing, and kind of backtracking a little bit I mean, and I remember, I know I said that as long as Putin's in office, Russia's not going to be our allies, and I stand by that. But it doesn't mean like all Russians are like complete sociopathic dickheads. I mean, there are probably some Russians that are like completely freaking awesome. Like they'll sit there, they'll sit there. You can have some you can have a drink with them, and they'll go back and forth, exchange conversation. But because, like you said, but how the media is portraying it is saying that, oh, all Russians are the bad. They're saying that well, actually, it's not really the media, it's more the government. They're saying that all Russians are evil and blah, 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 blah. No, it's just one that's evil that we know of.
Yeah. And as for anything, you know, it goes along with being able to. Honestly, Blackjack, I think one of the greatest things that people could do these days is actually pick up books and read. You know, actually try to get some information. Get some good information. You know, and kick back, open up a book. You know, but yeah, man. You know, with the media and stuff, it is portrayed. Things are portrayed differently than how things, I guess, should really be operating. And I don't know, man. I kind of thought that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin were in a kind of bromance. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was seeing.
Actually, I was kind of thinking they were doing more gay shit, but you know, that's just that's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But who would be the pitcher and who would be the catcher in that scenario?
That's disturbing. Disturbing classified information right there.
Very much so.
but it's something the people must know.
The people have to know. Like we have
They
we
have
have
to
to.
know.
I will make sure I get my lawyer, voodoo witch doctors on this.
Complete the objective to complete
Oh, you didn't
Yeah,
know
the,
we
the
have
world,
voodoo?
the
We have
world must
lawyer
know.
voodoo witch doctors.
Hey, where are they? I need to get one. I need to get a few on my case. You know.
Each quest has an objective. You can't consider the quest done.
Of course, sometimes they're assholes. I mean, I tried to get pyro. I tried to get pyro onto the show. Like I tried like actual pyrotechnics,
Yeah.
and they were like, no.
Our current objective is to eliminate a specified
Hey, if we can get it, man, we could really. That's some of the Blak Cast firepower right there, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's where it is. Oh yeah.
Small monsters.
You get some pyrotechnics going on behind you, and then you got
Want to check it out?
Maybe we got,
you got
a
like
lion,
Undertaker
maybe.
style smoke. You got like the
Yeah.
Undertaker style smoke coming down.
Yeah. How would the entrance go, man? Do you think you could do that? How would the entrance go for the Blak Cast with all that, the pyrotechnics, all that stuff? That'd be interesting to know.
That's something to ponder. Like I would like that's something to give some thought to.
They're in the supply
Is it
box.
one of those things like surprise motherfucker type things?
Ready to go.
That actually would be pretty cool. Like surprise, motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, it would. It would take things to new heights.
Oh yeah.
Want to get going?
Oh yeah. Actually, I gotta talk to Dochi. Actually, I gotta talk to Master Dochi and find out who he has for his intro guy. See if I can get him a call.
Be careful.
Who would you have for your intro? What celebrity or person, identified or not identified, would you have for your intro?
If I could afford.
Ready your weapon before
If I could afford him, freaking Samuel L. Jackson, but freaking I can't afford his ass.
I would have to do Dave Chappelle then, or Cat Williams.
generally want to keep your weapon sheathed.
Probably Dave.
Dave Chappelle.
Sights and monster positions on
Hey, that's an excellent choice, honestly. Honestly, I would pick Dave Chappelle over Cat Williams. Cat Williams,
Oh
actually.
yeah.
Over here.
Yeah, and it's great being a '90s child because we did have,
Got a slinger ammo.
for as short as it was, but it was a delicacy to have the Chappelle show every Tuesday. I think. I think it was every Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chappelle show, yeah. That's great. But yeah, oh man. Back then, Chappelle Show, Jackass, those shows like that, man, it was like, that was like
Yeah.
Woodstock on TV. Like, whoa. That was a real special thing to be a part of that, and it just created a culture of its own for many years, It's great to have that type of stuff.
Over here.
Or actually, or heck, I would even go so far. I would even do if we're doing like voice, like just voices. Then I would go like Todd Haberkorn. Like I
I'm
would
not
do
sure
Todd
who that
Haberkorn.
is.
Todd Haberkorn, he's responsible for some of the voiceovers in a lot of good animes. Rosario plus Vampire, Fairy Tail, Transformers, and that's just to name a few of them.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Like he is an amazing voice actor. And I've said it on not Facebook, but on Twitter, of how good of a voice actor he is. I mean, and I stand by that.
Yeah.
Like I wholeheartedly stand by that. Shout out to Todd Haberkorn. Would you have yourself?
Yeah.
The dual blades are close range.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I really, let me see.
Keep it together.
The guy that's in the wheelchair in Family Guy. You hear his voice like
Joe
everywhere.
Swanson. What is his name? Like I can never remember that guy's name. Like
He's pretty popular though, you know, and you could tell that his voice is in many places on animated shows, and I think he's probably even in a few what's the right word for it? You know, you don't want to say something like human shows. You know, there's animated shows and there's human shows. Nah.
they're live shows. Well,
Yeah, live shows.
they're non-animated shows.
Yeah.
He also did a commercial for something. I don't remember what the hell commercial he did, but he did a commercial for something. I was like, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got it. The guy who does the Allstate commercial, the black guy. What the hell's his name? What the hell's his name? I don't know. Are you in good hands?
His name. What is his name, man? But yeah, he's pretty cool. Then you have I don't know why I thought about the guy that I don't know, he's the accident forgiveness guy. You know that, let me see. It's the Caucasian guy that
Oh no, I know who you're
he's-
talking about. I know who you're talking about.
the insurance guy, you know,
Yeah.
the liability guy.
You don't want to get
He's pretty cool. Yeah.
you won't get stuck with mayhem like me.
Yes, that guy.
Oh my god, what in
That
the world is
guy.
his name? What in the shit nuggets is his name? Ugh. But yeah, that's something we'll work on in the pipes, like definitely something that will be worked on.
Good to see you.
Or actually like
So Blackjack.
Yeah, go
Sorry,
ahead.
were you saying?
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna add something. We are basically for real. I think we're halfway through 2018. So,
Yep.
what are some things that you feel are the best things so far this year, and what type of things would you like to see happen, either personally for you or
Listen up.
around you? What type of things, accomplishments, things, you know?
Well, best thing,
Right. Now that you've got some
best thing. Honestly, this is the best thing's a no-brainer. Best thing is a no-brainer. Bring you into the fold as the Blak Cast for Blak Cast season 3 was definitely the best thing that has happened. Was definitely the best. Like I could not. I know I've told you this before and again, but I will say it as many times as I need to. I could not ask for a better co-host.
Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely something that is of like really big importance, really big move, you know, really positive move, really inspirational thing. You know, it's probably the most inspirational, or it has to be one of the top two most inspirational things this year, man. Um, just to have a platform of, you know, not only getting some way where I could have my voice heard, but actually, you know, also being there to support you having your voice heard. You know, that's what's so fundamental about having, you know, having this, which is, you know, doing this with you. It's great, you know. So yeah, I appreciate that, man. Also, same, man. It's mutual, dude. You know, it's definitely a big move. No doubt.
We are the voice of the voiceless.
Yes, that's like really motivational stuff right there, bro. For real.
Yep. And one thing I would love to have is, you know, like like a house, like the house that's big enough where just have like a set studio, Hey, you come through, visit. We actually do like we actually have like a table, and we do like a live
Yeah,
Blak Cast episode, like a completely.
I would. Oh yeah, that would be something to honestly look forward to, and also probably doing something like this on a college campus. You know,
Oh, definitely. Like go to
I don't know.
University of
That just
Georgia.
sounds inspirational.
Go to
Yeah,
University of Georgia. Go
uh,
University of Georgia, or go to Maryland. Go to the University of Texas,
dude.
Florida State.
I used to go to some UT games back in the day when I was like 12 or 13, but I did go to some UT games. I saw Vince Young play his first game there, and
Very
that was
nice.
like, yeah, that was awesome to see that.
Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to Vince Young?
Oh man, I guess it's one of those things that sucks, and it kind of seems really even flabbergasting when you have someone like a Johnny Manziel or a Tim Tebow that don't just make the crossover, that seem like they don't have what it takes, but it makes I guess and you don't want to say that's a fault because it's something they can't control, it's obviously the managers and the scouting people that control that. But man, it's one of those weird phenomena where they've had such a big
My.
impression while they're in college, and those are the either the quarterbacks that you remember, but hey, it's like um, it makes the NFL one of those gridiron games, as I guess as they call it,
Mm-hmm.
It will make or break you, and it has shown that to its degree to make or break somebody, you know.
How's your gear holding up?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and it's just weird to see have somebody like Johnny Manziel, or Vince Young, not cut it, even though they were very well in the in college.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess it may not even be a factor of how good or even or not good their ability to play the game in the NFL. It could be just a whole different change in psychology for them,
Mm-hmm.
and that may be an interference,
Hey there, partner.
because man, uh, you're not playing against one college team. You're playing around people that are considered the the Achilles heel of
Mm-hmm.
of that college team for at least 2 years, at least their junior and senior year possibly, or maybe sophomore, junior. But you're playing against, when you're thinking of the Manziel, I guess you're thinking that every person in pro football is at that level or surpasses that level. So it could be a psychological thing, and that's one of those things. Because my dad would always tell me that it's an intense crossover for people, and I guess it could be maybe psychological in a sense.
I mean, it could be. It could be.
But that's it's and honestly, Blackjack, I was talking to my dad about this when we were making a venture home because we just came from Pensacola
Mm-hmm.
uh, this recent weekend, and I was saying that it seems that they spend, and you've probably seen this, man. You keep up with sports a good bit, I believe, and we pay. There's an ability to pay individuals hundreds of millions of dollars, but then again, it seems impossible to give a homeless person even $10. And
I've seen.
you know,
I've definitely seen that. Like, I've definitely seen that, and it's one of those things to where it does suck that some people are actually that selfish, or actually have
yeah,
where you're sitting there is like you got tens of millions of dollars, and you can't afford to like help this homeless guy. I actually saw one thing on Facebook where this was like super awesome, where this guy was sitting in his car, saw a homeless guy walk past him, and he had no shoes on, so he decided he gave him the shoes off his feet. Like, he gave him a brand new pair of kicks. And I was like, bruh, that is freaking cool.
It's probably one of the best things that you can do, or one of the best feelings that you could get. You know, shit, man. I've been on the side of the probation side of doing work, and I've also been on the voluntary, helping food bank, and
Yeah.
honestly, it feels better when you make that decision. And a lot of people do feel the way today, that maybe we have felt, where we've kind of like, okay, you have to do this to succeed, and that could be stressful, but oh man, it has to be really really damn mind bending to be in the poverty, in the homeless, not even the poverty line, but being homeless and being in America. You hear about all the whatever it could be, the opportunity you get, and all the riches, the New York City, the Michigan Avenue, all the luxurious, the whatever. You hear about all that, and you're sitting there with nothing but your clothes and maybe a backpack with some things you feel essential, and slowly but surely you're getting more depressed, you're getting more man, it's bruh. It's like, and that's something I haven't had to experience, but I can see the pain, in the eyes of those that have to deal with being homeless in America. And my soul goes out to that position. Unfortunate, but is very real. Not only in this country, but every country that has to watch as we consume. And then I guess it's something that we all could work on. But the desire is where it starts with. Everything starts with that desire. Blackjack.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to want to help them. Like, you have to want to help them. And I'm not gonna sit here and play a saint that I mean, I do. I mean, there are some times where I hold on to my money. But if I have a couple bucks I can spare to help somebody out, I'm one of those people that I will help a friend out. I'll help a friend out in a time of crisis.
Right. Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is.
And
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
Let me see. I kind of forgot, bro.
All right. Well, this has been Well, while he remembers his thought, we're gonna cut the show here. Trust me, I've had that where that's happened too. But this has been the Blak Cast. Guys, go ahead. You can go ahead. Follow me on Twitter at Blackjack the Ripper. Follow Nolly Hero on Twitter at
Nolly Hero.
I'm actually surprised you remember your own Twitter handle. I'm just messing with you, bro.
Yeah, I know.
But like, share, subscribe, ring that bell to get notified when we post new videos. Cause Lord knows that YouTube don't tell nobody nothing. YouTube don't tell nobody nothing these days.
Nah.
But no matter any circumstances where you're at, make sure you always be real.
Be real.